Well, we're going to stay with UK politics for now because the controversial UK migrant law is under the radar once again. The Home Office is doubtful over the plans to improve the asylum system. So the National Audit Office has warned that plans to make the asylum system more efficient is not working properly. Well, the UK government is spending watchdog claims. One of the key factors is the number of delays by the UK Home Office in deciding asylum claims. However, Home Office claims it's working day and night to curb the backlogs. Well, earlier, the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, said at the current rate of processing, the government could fail to meet the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's one of his priorities. Now, reports suggest the UK backlog of people waiting for asylum is now at 173,000, and the Home Office is spending around £3.6 billion a year on their support. UK's illegal migration bill aims to stop illegal migrants. UK authorities will detain the migrants and will swiftly return them to their home country or third country like Rwanda. UK Labour Party says the Tory government has lost control of this backlog. Earlier, at the European Union, a historic deal took place. Home Affairs ministers of the 27 countries in the bloc chartered out plans to share responsibilities for looking after refugees and migrants. So they're going to share that responsibility. Here in the UK, of course, it would be down to the government. There's so much to unpack here, Alex. It's a story that you follow closely. Alex Isaac, our London correspondent, is joining us now. The government is absolutely determined to get this migrant bill through. We've got this huge backlog here, of course, but it's not popular with everybody, is it?
No, you're right there. There are a lot of people who have said that it's unfair to put these restrictions. We're talking about the Rwanda specifically bill as well, about sending people to Rwanda. That was meant to come into play already. They were expecting to send about 250 illegal immigrants to Rwanda each month. So far, 0 have gone. Now, that has all been going through the courts and high courts, people saying it's against human rights, it's against ethical issues. And the government, the UK government, has should be making sure that anyone who comes to this country, illegal or not, is getting at least some support while their asylum process is going through. But of course, that's also facing its own challenges, because anyone that comes to the country, they have to go through a set of questions. They have to prove that they were seeking asylum in other countries, and that gets difficult when it becomes an illegal refugee, because they don't necessarily have to prove anything. Now, the backlog that we were mentioning there was something that Rishi Sunak said in December that he was going to try and curb and get under control. Now, it does feel that the government is not going to hit that target that he promised back then. He said it'll have until the end of the year to get that backlog sorted. It doesn't look like it's going. As I said, the Rwanda plan should have been in force already, according to him. Also, there's been a lot of problems within the Home Office and the border force staff as well. There just isn't enough staff to process all of these claims. So while this is happening, while there isn't enough people, while it's on a go slow, the people that have come over for asylum, whether illegal or not, are being put up in hotels and in barracks, and trying to get them on some kind of boats as well that hasn't quite got its fruition. That's costing the UK taxpayer a lot of money, talking about millions. You mentioned there £3.6 million. That is to look after these people while the asylum goes through, and that's just for the backlog. When we're looking forward to see how we can stop these specifically illegal migrants coming over, then that is also taking up another pot of money that's not included in that national audit sum there. There's also real concerns with the borders. There's obviously, we've spent loads of money over to France. That hasn't quite worked out necessarily in a lot of people's favour. And Labour, of course, is going to hold on to this and say, oh, look, it's not failing, it's completely at a loss. But Labour and Keir Starmer, the opposition party leader, hasn't actually said what they would do if they do get to be the next government next year. Because at the moment, there is such a huge backlog. There's such a lot of money going in. And what we do know is that going forward, if someone is coming over to the country, they're asked to fill out these questionnaires. Those questionnaires are in English. So that's obviously going to be a real struggle for those who are coming over legally to try and fill out those questionnaires. And those people, what we understand, are just being sent back straight away. So there is a real problem within the country that those that are really needing this help from the government, they aren't necessarily getting it, and those that are coming through illegally, or they seem to know some of the rules, and obviously there's a real concern with the Baltic region sending over refugees, illegal migrants too. And then, of course, we have the benefit system as well while these people are going through the asylum. So there is a lot going on, but generally there doesn't seem to be anything going forward. And a lot of people are complaining, whether it's the human rights of keeping people in hotels, or it's trying to send them to a country that they're not from. There is a lot to do, and Rishi Sunak had promised that he was going to sort that backlog by the end of this year. Well, we're nearly halfway through the year, and it doesn't look like that target is going to be hit.
No, it's incredibly complex. Thank you so much. And such a visceral topic as well for people. Of course, many of these people coming here are escaping persecution. Alex Isaac, thank you so very much indeed for all that detail there, our London correspondent.